Hello again, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Got another recap here. My DoorDash daily activities for Friday, November 7th, 2025. After the day off yesterday, I was back to dashing today. But before I get to today's dash, something from my emails today to go over first. I for whatever reason, I did not check my emails at all for 2 days. I don't know why. But before the dash this morning, I'm going through checking them, and there was an email from somebody at DoorDash with an invite to a like this event here in Columbus, and it's like a week from this coming Tuesday, and it's part of like the whole Dash Roots thing. You've probably have seen something about that before in the on the DoorDash website or the newsletters that they send out or whatever. And so I guess it's like this free lunch at like a pizza place, and where they're going to go over different things with the dashers that show up there. I don't know exactly what kind of topics, or maybe just in general, I'm guessing just kind of like a speech and presentation on the future of the company and upcoming changes and things to look forward to, maybe like ways to get more involved as a dasher, those type of things. And so and there was a link to RSVP. So when I first looked at it, I was like, would I see? Here's the main problem, folks. For me, is that they picked about, for as far as I'm concerned, about as bad a place to have something like this as they possibly could have. OSU campus. It's some pizzeria or Italian place or something up, Lane Avenue, Ohio State campus. Okay, so it's like that Tuesday. Do I want to, because I wake up and start my dashes early, 5, 6 a.m. Do I want to on that day shut things down at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and which is around the time I usually do, but after a full dash, and then do I want to log off, and do I really want to go up to campus for something like this? Or if it would have been here, like for instance, Three Brothers down the street, they have like a party room. I've seen different companies in there with associates and doing presentations just like this. If it would have been Three Brothers right here down the street from me, there would have been no hesitation, and I probably would have clicked that RSVP. But I don't know. I guess I could think it over for a day or two. This free lunch, and it talked about there's going to be like a raffle with prizes and stuff like that. Maybe I could make a couple connections. Maybe I could get a couple, throw out the name of my channel to a few people, get a few more people to watch. I don't know. I don't know what could come out of it. But my wife initially was thinking that I should go to it, and then she brought up a good point. She was like, "I wonder how many people they invited," and I was like, "Well, you know what? That actually is a good question, and I'm going to respond to this email and ask like how many people were invited to this, and about what are they kind of thinking? How many people would show up, because I seriously doubt that they wouldn't be able to send an invite to every single dasher in Central Ohio, but how many did they send it to? I wonder, because I'm not part of the Dash Roots. I was on the DoorDash Community Council, but I've never been involved in any way or had anything to do with the Dash Roots. So I don't know. But but I replied to the email, asked that question, and that was really early this morning before my dash, and didn't receive a reply back to that today. So we'll see. We'll think it over. What do you guys think? Should I go to it or not? I don't know. Logged in at 6 o'clock. Had to wait over a half hour before I got something. $26, 20 miles. Well, what are these items here? Okay, not doing it. Okay, of these balloons, they're going to need to be filled. It's only 6:30 in the morning. I may not be able to find some. Chances are, I'm not going to find an assortment that's already filled. Probably not. I mean, I could. I'd have to track down an associate, and it's 6:30 in the morning. I mean, and plus this flower bouquet. I have the worst trouble with Meyer flowers. They don't have much of a selection. And then here's the other item from, what was it, Home Depot? Yeah, some kind of jump starter compressor. What? I'm not a handyman. I don't know what that is. Is that something is that some kind of small item? Is that something that wouldn't even fit in my trunk and take up the whole back seat of my car? I have no idea. I don't know what that is. Decline. Wait about 14 minutes. One item, Meyer. $16, 13 miles. Okay, what's the item? All right. Dewormer. Okay, I can do that. I should be able to find that. Get inside Meyer. They try to do an add-on. Not doing any shopping order at all for $3. So that was an easy decline. And found this. It took me 4 minutes. I started off in the right place and looked there, didn't see it. Then I'm walking around the whole pets department. I'm also looking for somebody for maybe to help me. And then I came back to my original starting point and found it on the bottom shelf. So, and then delivered at 7:24. So that was, what is that, 36 minutes for the $16. So not bad. 9 and 7. All right. Upside down TJ's decline. Upside down Walgreens and Starbucks decline. $6 Starbucks going to West Side decline. Look at this Burger King. $8.50. 13 miles. That looks like it's going to Darbydale. I didn't zoom in on it. Please fix the bridge and pay a little bit more, and then I'll go down there. Upside down Taco Bell. That's 2 orders for $5.50 decline. Jeez. Again, West Zone, $10, 7 mile Starbucks. I went in and took this. Let's end the insanity. At least this is $10. I mean, if I am going to go to West Zone, 18 minutes for my $10. I mean, this worked out. $3.50 and a $6.50 tip. Okay, a few minutes later, and then here comes a slew of 8 a.m. bad offers. I don't know, most all of them were going out of zone. I don't know what the deal with this was, but this was terrible. Upside down Taco Bell decline. Upside down Taco Bell again decline. Upside down Starbucks, downtown zone decline. That's only $5. Upside down Chick-fil-A, not going to Chick-fil-A and to Obet's for $7. $6.50 sheets decline. That sheets is actually in zone. It's not out of zone. They got that. They got that in the wrong, that picture, the icon in the wrong spot. Upside down Chick-fil-A decline. $7 Jolly Pirate to the Hilltop decline. Upside down Sonic Hilltop decline. What's going on here? $9, 9 Mile for 2 tropical smoothies. I mean, at least that's in zone, but that's still a decline. Upside down Starbucks. And I think I didn't take this. I didn't take that one, I guess. But that is coming home. Okay? And a minute later, again, upside, it's about the same type of order here, but this is McDonald's. So I went ahead and took that. Um, while I was getting all those declines, I was making my way back home. So I'm home, and you see that it's 5:50 to go to McDonald's and just come right back here at home. I mean, it's delivered in my complex. So yeah, let's do it. Let's run to McDonald's and back. And I try to take my time. I was kind of driving slow to the McDonald's. It's because it's whatever bad order rush was going on right now. I was in no hurry to get this McDonald's done. Let's take my time on this for my $5. Let all these bad orders get assigned to people. And so 20 minutes for my $5. I killed 20 minutes, 2 and 3.50. Okay, now what? Now I'm back home. Upside down Meyer, $21, 23 miles. I went ahead and took this because I figured, well, even though it's upside down, time-wise, I think I can get this done in under an hour. So from that standpoint, let's go ahead and, it's kind of raunchy, but let's go ahead and do it. It's only 9 total items. Okay, so I get to Meyer, and customer A is just 2 things from HBC, cough stuff, and then there you see the 7 things for customer B. And like 6 minutes later, we get an add-on here. Additional $15, just 9 more things to shop, no mileage added. So yeah, so now you're talking, now this is over $36 for 23 miles. Okay. Now this works. Now it's no longer upside down. So I took this add-on. Okay. Had to refund this garlic powder. You see here I messaged the customer and no response. She ordered the smallest size. They didn't have that or even like the next size up. They only had it was like 2 or 3 sizes up is what they had. And then so here's my first drop off. Finished the 3 shops. First drop off, that's the small order at $9.28. Okay, and then this was then next was the add-on at $9.38. So just 10 minutes later, 3 and a $12.50 tip. And folks, I dropped that off and saw the delivery number 3. Thank you very much, was to the 0 tipping customer off South High Street. Thank you. And I was anywhere remotely close to her. I was like 9 miles away. I had an eternity to drive to that customer and, just kind of like, okay, here we go. Some of you guys may be wondering, why don't I just block her? I don't know. I thought about it, but until the worst thing she's done is that one time where she ripped the order out of my hand. Okay. Other than that, the other times, and like today, for instance, hasn't been that bad. Out of the dozen or more times that I've delivered to her, there's only been the one really bad uh, delivery. So I'm on my way there and I'm kind of kidding around with myself, thinking to myself, well, wouldn't it be funny if there was a tip on this? And then for the first time she tipped and there's like $1 on there. I'd probably have a heart attack or something. Okay, so like I said, I'm on that long 9 mile drive. I get there, I deliver it. Screenshot, please. Check it out, folks. There's the one tip, and I'm presumably my worst tip ever. I thought I had this documented in my spreadsheet. I couldn't find any mention of lowest tip, but there you go, right there, 10 cents. So that is now, I marked that in my spreadsheet. I believe that is my worst tip that I've received, on DoorDash. And if you're new to the channel, I've talked about this a few times before in the past, but it's just in my own personal opinion. But any tip from 1 penny to 99 cents is, in my opinion, that is worse than a 0 tip. It's just hey, people may look at it differently or whatever. That's just my personal opinion. That if you do something like that, like this 10-cent tip right here, basically all you're doing is sticking a middle finger up at your driver. That's how I interpret that. Okay, you don't have any money to tip or don't want to tip or anything. That's completely fine. Just leave a 0 tip. Just change it to 0 and boom. Okay. I deliver a lot of orders that don't have a tip on it, and that's fine. But you start doing this 1 penny to 99 cent stuff. That I just look at that as a sign of like disrespect. That again, that's just me, and I'll shut up about it. But and in fact, if I was running everything and running the show and everything, I wouldn't, in the system, I would not have it. You wouldn't be able to leave a tip like that. I would set it up to where you could leave 0 or any amount $1 or over, but you wouldn't. The system wouldn't take a tip between 1 cent and 99. I'd set it up to where you couldn't do that. But there it is, 10-cent tip. And that's just great. And that was probably from, if I had to guess, that was probably from the other, that wasn't from I think the 0 tip lady, because I've delivered to her so many times, she was probably still the 0 tip. Okay. I just, my best educated guess that 10 cents was from the 2-item cough customer is where the 10 cents was from. I can't prove that for sure, but how about an upside down Cracker Barrel to Darby Dale? No thanks. Okay. 925 7-mile Alta. No, no thanks. Let's move this down here for a second. Upside down Burger King to Darbydale. Didn't I already get that offer? Decline. $5 McDonald's. Let's go ahead and do it. What is this, like 15 minutes from my $5? Routine 2 and 3. Done. Okay, 1022. Then I get, I think this was a decline, $14, 12 miles, Target and Chick-fil-A to Obed's decline. Upside down, IHOP to the hilltop. Decline. $3 McDonald's decline. 16.75 PetSmart and Chick-fil-A. Is this a new order? Or guys, I'm just getting now. I'm just getting confused. It's the madness here. Decline and look at this. The live crickets are okay, but this fruit fly thing and this reptile tote and plastic feeding tongs. It is too complicated. Not doing it. So that Alta sat around for like over 20 minutes. So I went ahead and took it here. 1750, 9.5 mile. And so they stacked it with like what is that? Like an $8, basically an $8 crumble. So I went ahead and took it. Okay. I get to crumble cookie, downpour. Downpour thunderstorm. I mean, it was bad. And I had the good presence of mind that I decided to take my pizza bag in to the store for this order. So, and it was a 6 count box of the cookies. The pizza bag was perfect to put that into. Ran that out to the car, didn't get wet. Here's my list at Ulta. I usually get pretty lucky at these places. They see a guy walking in there looking lost and everything. They usually ask if you need help. And a person did here but said that she couldn't help me, but she called somebody else. Okay, so I'm wandering around. Where is it at here? The eyelashes. I almost found that. I was in the right place and scanned like the wrong item. And another minute or two, I would have found that. But the lady came up to help me. Okay, so she found that. Those two Milani things were pretty easy. The buxom, we were in that area. She didn't see it, and then she was looking on her handheld, and it said it might be up at the register. So we go up there. It's not up there, and then we came back, and she was like, "Yeah, this." She said some of this makeup, not all of it is always where. All of the brands are not always together. They'll have it in 2 or 3 different places. And I was like, yeah, and that's why it makes it like nearly impossible for me. And she was like, oh, yeah, for sure. She said, I even struggle with some of this stuff. I had problems myself with, and like this right here, even. But on the second return back, she found it. So we she found everything and 4 for 4. Okay. So that was 7 minutes that it took for that. And appreciate the Ulta store staff member for helping me. Okay, so delivered I believe this was the crumble first. This went to a medical building. So delivered that first. And then at 11:07, the Ulta. So $8.50 from DoorDash, $7 tip, and there is the Ulta right there. Thank you very much. And so this took a little while. This was over 40 minutes for the 1750. I mean, I guess that's not bad. So not bad. Approaching $100. Yeah, I think I went in and took this 1625. I'll go up into that west side for 16. And I only got to shop one thing at PetSmart. Get to PetSmart. It's just dog diapers. I found that right away. Easy. Then I went and picked up the Genji Go. That was ready. No problems with that. 11:33 first drop off, and then 11:41. So I almost got this done in a half hour. 16.25, 5.75 from DoorDash, 8.50, and there it is right there again for the PetSmart. Appreciate it. All right, $106. What's next? Upside down, $7 for 2 Raising Canes and 1 going to the downtown zone. Not a chance. 12.53 Romeo's and City Barbecue decline. Here, this is probably my best order of the day. $22, 13 miles. Most of the mileage is because I'm not back to zone yet. Just 15 things to shop. This was easy. About the hardest thing, and I don't think it's listed on. Yeah, it's at the very bottom here. That diced. Usually, I've always purchased, like for myself, minced garlic, like in the jars. This was diced garlic, bigger pieces. I never heard of this before, but it wasn't where all the jarred garlic was. I kind of walked around the produce wall and I found it like right beside where the cut fruit is. So learn something new every day. And the rest of this was easy. Had to substitute this seasoning. Found the shelf position on that. Took the picture of the tag. So 50 minutes, less than an hour for the $22. $15 from DoorDash, $7 tip. Good order there. All right. Not shopping Dollar General and taking it into West Zone decline. 13.50, 10 miles, but I got the 10 miles coming back too. So this, I say probably at least 60% of the time I'm going to decline it, but I was in that 40% mood today. Let's go ahead and do it. I'll go down to commercial point. Let's do it. It's not the same as going to out east or up to South Columbus or any of those places because there's no traffic lights, not nearly the traffic. It's not that bad going down there. It's just the time and mileage. That's all. So I went in and took this. This is not the Jersey Mike's that gave me the problems the other day. This is the other one. So no problems on this pickup. The first order dropped off just 15 minutes. I was going to say 5 minutes. 15 minutes after I got the offer. Customer was in the apartments right behind the Jersey Mike's, so that was easy. And then my drive down to Commercial Point, which wasn't that bad. That only took 12 minutes. Wow. So under a half hour, $13.50. Of course, I had to drive back. $2.50. I was unaware of this peak pay. Whenever that started and however long it was for, I don't know. But I think this was the only order that I got a peak pay. There was a peak in place when I very first started the dash, but only for about 10 more minutes, and I didn't get an offer. $7 tip, and there you go. Appreciate it. Upside down McDonald's decline. 750, 7.5 mile Aldi's, 2 things to shop for. I don't know, guys. If it's milk and eggs, maybe I'll do it. But let's see what we got here. Pumpkin loaf or sliced loaf pumpkin cake. Not doing it. Not doing it. I know. I've seen, I bought cookies there. I bought, a couple different things, but I don't remember seeing pumpkin loaf. Maybe it was there and they have it, and I'm not chancing it. Not doing it. 1950 Giant Eagle, but that's going north of downtown. At this point, I'm only going to do another order, so I'm close to goal. So I want to stay near zone if I can. So decline. Here we go. 20 bucks, 13 miles. It's not going as far. So I went ahead and took this. No problems at the Panera. That was ready. I get to the Target at 126. The top and bottom things here, those were easy, but not these vaginal suppositories. So I went to that aisle. I, not only did I not see this, I was trying to look, and it has a price listed here, $20.99. I was looking all along there for any shelf tag of $20.99. I couldn't find the shelf position for this, so I was able to track down a female associate and who came back to that aisle with me. She pulled this up on her handheld, and according to what she was showing, their store like didn't even carry this. So I don't know. Why would the customer be able to order it then from that location? I mean, I don't know. And then the customer was notified. They submitted a substitution, and even then, the substitution was a little tricky to find. The girl said there was showing one in stock, and so we were kind of hunting around looking on the shelves or what, and I found it. It was kind of knocked over, and it was on the top shelf. She was like, "Yeah, it's a good thing you're tall," because she said I would have never seen that. Delivered. I believe this was the Panera. I delivered it at 1:55, went to a school when parents were lining up to pick up kids, and I don't know. I shouldn't have got as bent out of shape as I did about it, but I said something to the customer. Am I going to be able to get out of here? And she said, "Well, where are you parked?" I said, "Well, right out here." And there's nobody parked behind me yet, but well, I couldn't drive forward because there was the parents, and they had like some kind of barrier on the other side of the, so it was like single file in one direction only. I couldn't go straight. And the customer, didn't really say much or didn't really care if I got out of there or not. She just kind of grabbed her food and went, whatever. But I got back out there, and there were cars behind me. So what I had to do was this kind of jacked up. I had to pull forward, it kind of like into the wrong lane, and I had to go in reverse and go around the two cars that were behind me in reverse and then go down another lane. So I just, again, this is a little pet peeve of mine, and this is just me and my opinion. Everybody is going to have different opinions on this, but school staff should not be placing delivery orders at pickup and drop off times. Why would you do that to a delivery driver? You got parents coming in there, you got the school buses, you got sometimes police coming in and out of there, all this stuff, and one-way traffic and barriers and cones, and you're going to have somebody deliver during a pickup or drop off time. That rude. Deliver the second one at 2:01. So a little under an hour for that. 2025, less than an hour. Sweet. $9.25, $8, and $3 tip. Folks, that is it. I'm tired. We're gonna have tacos tonight. Should be a good dinner. 16 deliveries for $162.60. Drove 148 miles. So that, yeah. I had the longer distance one in the commercial point, so that that's to be expected. And logged in for 8 hours 2 minutes, and I was active 6 hours 13 minutes of that, so close to 2 hours of downtime. And now at 5,560 lifetime DoorDash deliveries, my AR finished a dash at 36%. That's down 5 points from yesterday. So there you go. We'll do this all again tomorrow. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it very much. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We picked up a few in the last couple days. Thank you for subscribing. And drive safe out there. And we'll catch you at the next video. Thanks again.